Hello everyone, my name is Carrie Harris and welcome to my office. So I'm making this video just as a quick tips and tricks on how to actually interview at Amazon and Amazon Web Services. So for those of you who may not know, that is, the corporation that I currently work for. And a lot of times when I'm on the phone speaking to different applicants in regards to the interview process, I always share tips and tricks on how to get through the interview process. So as opposed to just being one person to one ear each time I share this information, I figured let me make a video. And that way, anybody who's interviewing at Amazon or Amazon Web Services, no matter what role it is, you can hear it straight from a recruiter's mouth. Now, just so you know, we have multiple resources that you can go to for this same information. I just know people like different mechanisms to hear the information. Maybe you can receive it differently. But if you go to amazon.jobs/interviewing-at-Amazon, you can definitely find different interview tips and tricks from the phone screen all the way to on-site interviews. And you also can follow me on my LinkedIn as well. That's literally linkedin.com/Carrie Harris. And I post daily on there. More recently, this past week, I posted about interviewing for phone interviews at Amazon and tips for interviewing for on-site interviews. So these resources are definitely out there. I just want to take a few moments to kind of walk through them in a little bit more detail. Again, just through another tool and voice. So the first thing to keep in mind are our leadership principles. People always ask me, is there any preparation that you can give me, any extra advice, any tools, anything that can help them in their interview process? And honestly, our leadership principles govern and guide everything that we do. We work in them every day, yes, in them, and we work with them. So they are ingrained in us, and that's something that we pride ourselves on because it allows us to deliver efficiency, quality, and always keeping the customer in mind. So if you do not know anything about our leadership principles at Amazon or Amazon Web Services, definitely check those out. I will put the link down below in the description. Secondly, you want to make sure you familiarize yourself with behavioral-based questions. So I tell people as they're going through their past experiences and really thinking about any stories that they can share or showcase, try to tie them back to the leadership principles. So when you go to the link, there are 14 leadership principles, and you want to make sure that your experiences kind of highlights how you exuded those different principles, because it's easier for us to see that, hey, this person can transition here because they're already living it in their day-to-day life. So make sure you have really good stories that you can tell about your past experience. Think about challenges that you face. Think about times where you had to earn trust from your different clients, from your peers. Think about times where you were stuck in maybe a tough situation and you still had to deliver results. Think about times where you had to really put the customer first and work backwards from the customer to drive results. All of those things embody a few of our leadership principles, and there are many, many more once you go through them and you evaluate them. So a good exercise I recommend people to do is to go through the leadership principles one by one and just reflect on your experience and think about, okay, when have I exuded that? And then just jot it down in a few words. And once you went through that, then you will do number 3, which is understanding something we call our STAR method. Our STAR method is something that we use to help candidates when they're trying to phrase how to answer our behavioral-based questions. So STAR is an acronym. It stands for 4 things. S stands for the situation, T stands for task, A is for action, R is for result. So you want to make sure you give a clear situation when you list out your example. So once you went through the leadership principles, you have a few words of the story you want to share, you go back through them again, and then you look, okay, this is my story. What was the situation? All right, well, what task did I have? What was I responsible for? Okay, then now what action did you take? And then follow it up with what the ending result was. If you can phrase your questions in that manner, It will be well received, especially again, seeming that it will automatically embody our leadership principles because you started your examples by studying our leadership principles and then having different stories that can go with each one that you actually have done in your past experience. Now keep in mind, don't fluff, don't read the leadership principles by verbatim. That's not the purpose of this. The purpose is to truly see your experience, but again, have you articulate it in a way to where it can translate to those principles. And then the last thing I would say that you definitely need to do is be confident, be enthusiastic, and be honest. I mean, honesty is the best policy. If you have the experience and if you are even fortunate enough to get an interview, that means something on paper showed that you had what it takes. So keep that in mind. Be confident in your answers. Be confident in your experience. Show your excitement and your passion for the role. And I think you should definitely be well off. So I'm going to leave links in the description down below to the STAR method as well as our leadership principles. Those should help whether you're having a phone interview or whether you're having an on-site interview. And again, please be sure to visit our website, the amazon.jobs/interviewing at Amazon, because those have additional details and tips even when it comes to taking assessments. So again, I love keeping these videos short because our time is short, especially nowadays the way the world runs. But hopefully this helps you. If it is helpful content, make sure you share it with someone and you like it. And I appreciate your time and making it to the end of the video. You all have a blessed day.